Oops. The fuck, man? Someone keeps undercutting the fuck out of my prices. Oh, they all disappeared out of there. Fuck it. 24. 10 plat.
We got the bold man reacting left, right, and center, and Mr. Top 10 MMORPGs to play with no friends. The lucky ghost himself, delivering some juicy controversy straight to my door. I didn't even have to pay him like I did with the others, so this is glorious.
Okay, let's see it. Fake drama is my only content. Oh, it's his classic WoW arc. I like that.
However, I'm not going to be addressing the topics in the video at hand. I'm sure you've all watched it yourself and have seen various reactions, so you can absorb a bunch of shit takes because you're starving for any kind of content whatsoever. And I admit,
to make you feel
I have
something.
been withholding your usual dose of copium this month to enjoy my sudden increase in revenue. Just so ashamed.
Fucking, this what they do, man.
Up to you guys, just please continue to watch.
Now I gotta turn this shit down, yo. The fuck?
3 of your APP systems have now been affected. So these are, this is, okay, so there's like probably 20 reasons, not 100, I would say. Less ship parts lost. I think we'll address these one at a time.
100 reasons why. So, in today's video, we'll be discussing this and to the majority. Today, I'm excited to dive into this and hopefully quell some of your worries in anticipation for what really matters.
All right.
The game actually fucking existing one day. Now, all that bollocks out of the way.
Damn, I cannot get comfy, man. Fucking A, dude. Fucking A, dude.
Player online role-playing game, which means that all players exist continuously in the same world, not in stages, not instances, not arenas, not rooms, not shards, etc., etc., etc. But as the years have gone by, the player base grew up in many
Oh shit, what was that?
That's not like a toggle or something. Fuck with people, or you can work around the system.
Oh, did I pick it up? Yeah, I think I got it. Sweet. Let me fix this audio real quick.
Of old characters exploiting the corruption gain, and of course emphasizing the punishment length of being corrupted in comparison to what it was in Lineage 2. But what is this elusive corruption system, I hear you ask? In Ashes of Creation, you can quite literally flag yourself for PvP anywhere in the world with a press of a button and attack anyone, provided they are either 1, not in your group, and 2, not in your guild. Now that may sound
Hopefully the game ain't too loud now.
Out there, as your crippled boomer hands can hardly perform a basic rotation in WoW, but there's a system that actually protects you from being randomly murdered by sweaty neckbeard kids all day, every day. And that system is called corruption. When you brutally murder an innocent to stroke your EP in Ashes of Creation, you're hit with a massive negative status effect that not only makes you a huge target for everyone, but also reduces your performance as a player by a significant amount. The goal for this corruption mechanic, in my opinion, should be to nullify all forms of random pointless murder and punish these so-called griefers in some way, shape or form. This
is one of the questions that I kind of have, is that, like, what does this really look like? Because is there a world where a system like this could work and be good? Yes. Is that world going to be Ashes of Creation? We don't know. So the thing to me is, like, we can talk about this like on a philosophical level as much as we want, but the truth is that we don't really know. We're all just talking shit until the game comes out. Because until we really see what happens, until we really see how people play the game, then everything else is just kind of like, I don't fucking know. Like, maybe it's gonna go this way, maybe it won't. Yeah, you have to see the game. And I think that, like, again, it's all projection.
System mimics very closely Black Desert Online's karma system, and although BDO is very flawed as an MMO, leaning on some very single-player aspects, the karma system works well, and improved upon, can easily create a meaningful open-world PvP environment here in the modern age that complements and encourages the social gameplay we've been missing so much. Now,
I remember, like, whenever I played BDO, and this is like, I was like level 45 or something like this. I think it was the first time, like, you could kill people at a level, because, like, the soft cap then was at 50. And I kept getting killed by this other random guy. And every time that I would try to farm these mobs, I just kept getting killed. And, like, this guy was like level 51. He was already past the soft cap. This guy was a massive fucking farmer. And then finally, you know, once we actually got to that point, we would do the same thing to other people. And I remember there were these guys, I think they were called like Sausons or something like that, sausages or some kind of fucking shit. And like, we had our farming spot, and if anybody ever went to that farming spot, we would just mercilessly kill them until they leave. And I can pretty much assume that a lot of people probably didn't have that much fun dealing with that. So I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to be the same thing. Yeah, I don't know. 5-man Saucing groups in 2017? Yeah, it was something like that.
I don't usually react to videos specifically because it's not really my style. Yeah. Saving that to pad out my streams in the future, you see.
Very smart.
But there was a particularly stinky take that I wanted to respond to specifically.
Okay.
Take it away, Asman.
Every time that you give one player agency over another player's experience in a video game without their consent, the dramatic pauses, you will 9 times out of 10 create an outcome that is bad for the game. Well, I'm not describing a multiplayer game, because unless you want to consider playing the game at all as a consent into doing this, then I think it's very different. Like in World of Warcraft, you can't have somebody randomly PvP you and kill you in the game. This just can't happen. Here we go.
Players interacting with each other
Too
is
late.
bad for the game.
It can be, yeah, it absolutely can be. Like, because if you can interact with another player and you can affect their game experience in a negative way, and they can't control that, then yeah, that's going to be bad for the game, because the only thing that does is it alienates people that just want to play the game normally, and it rewards people that want to play the game and harass other people. Yeah, 100% that's what happens. There it is.
No, this can't be real.
Here we go.
He can't be serious. I must be misunderstanding.
Damn, 4 people.
Yes.
The fuck?
I know. The way I can truly understand him is to assume a new form. The only form that could understand this take. Now, Asmongold has some pretty bad takes when it comes to MMOs these days, and this particular reaction was a nice compilation that encompasses everything wrong with modern MMORPGs, but that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. They may be wrong, but diversity is exactly...
I completely agree. Everybody is entitled to
Oh,
their
I forgot
opinion,
to fucking get my
but they
chat
are
bot
also
up.
wrong.
Fucking
All right,
hey,
let's hear it.
dude.
What
It's
I
too early
advocate
for this
here
shit.
on this channel. Without diversity, Ashes of Creation cannot make the correct choices. But I want to follow this up with an anecdote about risk versus reward and why PvP is important to me as an artisan main, aka a player who quite literally doesn't give 2 shits about combat. And I'm going to do this by taunting my favorite bunch of low IQ brainlets. New World was ass. Its combat was trash, its endgame was non-existent, and the moment-to-moment gameplay loop was boring. However, the thing that really ruffled me up was the gutting of their core PvP features in favor of appealing to as wide of an audience as possible. Originally, New World was supposed to be a faction-based open-world PvP game. However, Amazon, being the marketing geniuses they are, decided to implement a toggle-on PvP feature last minute. This feature is also known as War Mode.
War mode, isn't that the same mode that was they implemented in WoW?
True. So basically, whenever the game came out, and this was in like 2020, the preview event of the game had War Mode on. So over a year ahead of time before the game came out, it had this toggle on, and before the game actually came out to the public, before it was released as in any sort of a playable form to the public, this was already enabled in the game. So unless you had played the alpha and you had done all the NDA stuff, etc., you would have never experienced what it was like to actually play New World with PvP always on. And I think that it's easy to say that, like, oh, well, New World made the bad decision by turning this off. But I think it's very easy also to say that New World saw that this was not good for the game and they changed it because of that. Because you also have to remember contextually, New World came out and like this change came out very soon.
I didn't have my multi-stream up, so I don't know if anybody's been...
Phase 2 led to a lot of exoduses on the servers, a lot of people quitting the game, people moving on from Classic WoW, playing other games instead.
There we go. Now I can see chat from any
because they were unable to play
stream. I usually only watch
so I don't
Twitch
think that it's outside of the
chat.
possibility that New World saw this happen. They saw that it was having a negative effect on the alpha tests that they were doing.
Let me get my chat bot.
I feel like that was that would make sense.
Final nail in the coffin for World of Warcraft's open world PvP, giving players the ability to opt out of PvP in a game that is supposed to be PvP focused completely destroys any value that travel had, the socialization has, but
well, whenever you say destroys any value that travel had, what about one of the main complaints being that travel had value? And the value that was placed on travel caused hundreds of thousands of people to quit the game. Because it's very easy to say, yes, oh, well, the value placed on travel is important. That's nice, but whenever you place that value and you apply it to a player base and you see the player base drop by 90%,
There we
I think
go.
that this is just simply not a shared opinion. I don't see how anybody could say that, like, and again, you can like a game that has travel costs and it makes travel matter a lot. Like Valheim, for example. Sure, I think that there are many people that like that, etc. But the numbers don't lie. The numbers clearly indicated that people didn't like that kind of gameplay and that type of content. And I would say that travel costs and travel time and everything were probably in the top 5 reasons why people were frustrated with New World for the first 6 months that it was out. Am I right about that? Because you have to remember that a lot of people don't have unlimited time to play the game. So it's very easy for somebody who's a content creator like me or Narc or anybody who makes these videos to say that, oh, well, travel should matter and all these things should matter and they should be important. But you're just simply not going to convince somebody who has 2 or 3 hours a day to play the game. And before you say that's casual, this is 2 to 3 hours a day. Like, this is a lot of time. It's like a part-time job to play the game. That half of that time that they should be playing the game should be invested in between going from point A to point B. It's just simply not something that people want to invest their time into. And I think that, again, like, all of these things are, like, they can make Ashes of Creation however they want, but I don't think that you can make the argument that travel mattering is a good thing for a game in any metric. Every single observable metric shows that travel, quote, mattering has been harmful to the game, if you want to use the example of New World. And it's been tremendously harmful. Not true? I think so. How many of you guys were unhappy with New World because of how long and how much effort it took to travel around in the game? By any metric, seems like an extreme statement. Well, what other metric could you, like, what metric metric could you use to show that travel mattering inside of New World was a good thing? Give me one metric. Okay, right. So we don't have one. All right, let's move on.
Most importantly, the economy has. I was heavily focused on the economic side of New World. It is what I specialize in after all, and I have never witnessed a crash at the launch of an MMORPG quite like a New World. For weeks, players couldn't even afford to repair because every single material was worthless. It was made worthless because the game that was supposed to be designed around contesting materials with PvP allowed players to just ignore this particular gate and turn off their PvP like the careless dad gamers they are and chop.
That's not what happened. The reason why the economy crashed in New World
Careless
is
dad
people were able
gamers.
to dupe. Like, they were literally able to turn one item into 30 items. So that's why the economy crashed. So it really didn't, and also it had to do with the balancing of the resources themselves. So the issue with
Come
New
on,
World
man.
is that,
That's what I hate about using macros. It's hard to
I think that, yeah, he can use
use potions while they're
Star
active.
MS paints. Right, and so you basically had a really big problem where the resources were functioning like this, where you had iron here, and then you had steel here, and then you had star metal here.
Yay, I got a Vish. That's 2 Vish today.
Orichalcum up here.
Within 2k HKs. That's fucking garbage.
And so the problem was that the iron itself, you needed iron to make steel, and you needed steel to make star metal, and you needed star metal to make orichalcum. But the issue is that based off of the way that it is scaled, it was a multiplicative value. So if you want to make 1 star metal, you need this much more iron. And if you want to make 1 orichalcum, you need this much more star metal, which means that you need this much more steel, which means that you need this much more iron. So what the issue was, is actually iron was high value, And then what ended up happening is the high-end resources became low value because there were so many people that just didn't have the low-end resources to fill out those high-end resource values. So it killed the value of Star Metal temporarily, and then it rose it above everything else because it became the least popular to farm, and also the least readily accessible because of just the way that the spawn points in the game work. And also Orichalcum was a lot easier to farm because you had many more areas where you were able to farm Orichalcum in rotations. So that's another big reason why it happened. And again, I think the biggest reason, and the reason why Iron had more value than Star Metal and sometimes Orichalcum, is because of the compounding nature of the crafting system. So if you didn't have the compounding nature of the crafting system, which was something that was fixed, you wouldn't have had this resource problem. But that wasn't even the main issue with the New World economy. The main issue with the New World economy was also the fact that gear was RNG, but it was not RNG to an extent that players were able to like readily access and deal with for the first 2 months of the game, because a lot of the systems in the game, like having trophies and having different weaponsmithing items or armor smithing items, were inaccessible until probably the end of the first month, maybe the second month, depending on the server that you were on. So a lot of these high-end items, Orichalcum, for every one Orichalcum ore that was farmed in the game, you would actually need, 50 iron ore that were farmed in the game. But the issue was that there were 50 Orichalcum nodes and 50 iron nodes. So that's why the New World economy died, and primarily it was because of the duping. So it really didn't have anything to do with PvP or not PvP. It was like fundamental mechanics of the game and the way that those things affected the game.
Trees forever.
Not a great plan.
Ashes of Creation is
Ooh,
very
another
different
Vish,
in
okay.
this regard, and is handling PvP in a way that complements sandbox gameplay by protecting the one thing that actually matters, the economy. Something the modern player base seems to have forgotten is that you can actually balance your own risks. You decide when the risk is too high for you in terms of what you could drop out of your inventory. That is quite literally the beauty of player agency and why MMORPGs used to be so fun. You were the one.
I think economy does really matter, but for a lot of people that play the game, it's not super important. So I don't think economy is the end-all and be-all for an average player experience.
Making the choices, not the game creating rigid, theme park-esque rules and telling you how, when, and why you should be playing. Unless you're corrupted, you won't drop any gear. Therefore, Ashes of Creation is not a full loot PvP MMO. If anyone tells you it is, they are woefully uneducated. But there has to be some incentive for PvP, or it just ends up bland with no real meaning to anything, aka modern theme park MMOs. Now, the balance of all this is 100-fold. Obviously, over the years as MMOs became more shallow, less and less content was available to players who actually want MMORPGs, which means the actual PvP...
I think that people that want MMORPGs, like a good example of a game that I think really delivers on the experience that people want out of an MMORPG is actually Final Fantasy. I think Final Fantasy probably does the best job at delivering the MMORPG experience, because you have single-player activities, you have a lot of group activities, guild activities, and like housing activities and things like this that are focused more around like players interacting inside of a game. I think that a lot of times people view MMORPG through the idea of either combat or economic interaction. But the reality is that there's also a massive world of social interaction that is larger than both of those. I think that things like the Goldshire Inn and stuff like this show that very well. And I also think another example of that is just Final Fantasy. There's a lot of people that play the game that don't really do a whole lot of combat or do anything else, but they log on every day because they have a community that they built up in the game. So I don't think that like really this is true. I think this is only true in the context of something being a combat-centric game. Do you see kind of what I'm saying? They have a good RPG experience field. Yeah. You don't like sandbox-oriented MMORPG? Well, I'm willing to address any argument that people have, but most of the people are not able to actually present an argument that is good. Like I feel like I've addressed, like for example, using the argument of New World's travel or New World's economy as an example of why PvP is needed in the game. This is just factually untrue. It's just untrue. As somebody who's put 1,000 hours into the game, it's just not true. And I can explain how it's not true. So I'm willing to listen to what people's feedback is and other arguments, but saying that I'm wrong doesn't mean anything.
Content available is a very, very important aspect of any MMO. You need to have multiple ways of engaging in content. If there is only one endgame dungeon and everyone is camping that, then it does become a boring gank fest where only the top PvP guild can succeed. However, if there are 10, 20, 30 dungeons and the community is spread all across these, the choice to move and contest somewhere else is always an option. And
I think this does happen, but I think that it's also kind of an issue whenever it does. So, like, for example, New World tried doing this by making multiple points of interest also level 66 in the game. But there will always be a best, and you will always see people competing over the best. So the only way to really make this happen is to either make the best dynamic or to rebalance it on a nearly weekly basis. Which is also, that's fine, but usually those players are dynamic enough to really adapt to the change within a day of the change happening. So it doesn't really make that big of a difference.
Option that has been missing in pretty much every MMO up until Ashes of Creation. This goes for the plethora of open PvP zones Intrepid have begun revealing to us as well. The oceans, the newly revealed ruins mechanic, and of course, the one I predict will be most common, the caravans. What I think is important to realize here is that Steven and the team have a lot of experience with PvP in MMORPGs as outlined by his comment. But for now though, here in pre-Alpha 2, personally, I think it's pointless to talk about a mechanic that was so broken that it literally got disabled in the first few hours of Alpha 1. So let's take a moment to stop overdosing and remind ourselves this game is still many years away from release. We're not even...
And I will also say that the imbalance or the lack of quality in this specific mechanic is extremely important, because if this mechanic does not function properly and does not adequately kind of curtail ganking and people being able to just kind of play the game on their own, it will turn people away. Like, they just won't play the game. So it's like you can't have a bug in a system like this because people can abuse the bug and fuck over other players.
Even in a public alpha testing phase yet, so of course Intrepid are going to be innovating, testing and changing their PvP systems to be the best possible version it can be, and it's down to us as testers and you guys as innocent bystanders to provide the correct feedback. Ashes of Creation has a lot of systems governing its PvP alone, and without PvP, this game ceases to even function. So let's end today's video.
I'm not sure if that's entirely true. I think that really, is this something that's actually true or not? Because if the game doesn't function without PvP, then I think you could make an argument that it's not really a PvX game, it's a PvP game. But it's clearly not a PvP game. And also, Narc even acknowledges that the game clearly has to function without PvP.
Dude, I want to PK this
fucking
piece of shit.
Have anything to do with combat in the first place. So if you want to play the game to be a crafter, but you think that PvP has to be a core of the game, then you either have to do PvP or you can't play the game as a crafter. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't have both. Also, again, the laundry list of reasons why the game wouldn't work without PvP always on, a lot of those reasons, whenever I paused and I looked at them, a lot of them were either redundant or just stupid.
pressing this particular topic because I think it is a very important one to touch upon indeed. Yeah. Ashes of Creation isn't made for 90% of the modern MMORPG player base. The point of Ashes of Creation is to show that 90% how an MMORPG is actually supposed to be made. None of our currently popular MMOs are actually MMOs. They've devolved into single-player lobby games that give you the illusion of a massively multiplayer world because you can see the odd pleb running around playing their own single-player experience. In my opinion, the reason why MMOs are a dying...
I don't think that there's anything in the nature of what an MMO is that tells you that unless you can negatively affect another player's experience in the game without their consent, it's not a real MMO. I mean, I don't agree with this. Like, yeah, you're basically saying that a game has to have PvP for it to be a real MMO. So if the game has to have PvP for it to be a real MMO, you would clearly assume that you would have to be a PvPer to be a real MMO player. So if you're a crafter, you're not a real MMO player anyway. So why are you playing MMOs?
Crafter? What the fuck does crafting have to do with an MMO?
You wouldn't play the game. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying.
Oh
again,
my god,
yeah,
I'm about to...
This is like a... if I can't PvP, it's not a real MMO. What? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good.
I don't think this is really true, and I think that most people... It's not about not being able to PvP. I think the real thing that what's being talked about is non-consensual PvP. It's not... Everybody is a fan of Arena. Everybody loves Battlegrounds. Everybody loves Sieges, etc. These are all great things that I think 98% of people think are fucking awesome. However, the question is about non-consensual PvP. That's the difference. Care Bear PvP? I think that a lot of the people that care about Care Bears and things like that are bronze ranked in every competitive game that they play. Most of the people that go and they try to take these games very seriously and these MMO games very seriously are mechanically challenged and awful at the game.
Genre is because it's lost its soul. It's lost its purpose to make way for the shallow, talentless corporate trash monetized out the wazoo with predatory, convenience-based practices. It's okay that Ashes of Creation isn't for you. You have your well, actually, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Your trash MMOs that cater to your lazy, shallow mentality in the form of Final Fantasy XIV, World of Warcraft, and...
I think lazy is like really usually not a good word to describe somebody who doesn't want to do something that they don't want to do inside of a video game. So like you have to keep in mind that like a lot of people play video games because the video games are fun to play and they enjoy playing video games. That's really all it comes down to. So whenever you say somebody is lazy because they don't want to walk from town to town in New World because...
Omni Rapier dropped here? What the fuck?
They're going to tell you, yes, I am lazy. I don't want to waste my time doing this. It's not fun. Like, these people are not lazy. They just worked a job for 8 hours. They're an electrician. They're not lazy at all. They just don't want to do something that has no value.
Whatever else bends over backwards to shove convenience up your already torn up asshole.
Sometimes too much convenience is bad, though. I'll definitely say that. And it's not that he's totally wrong. It's that where on the spectrum right really is.
I'm going to touch on a comment I see very often from not only the copium addicts feverishly consuming information related to this non-existent game, but also from a lot of YouTubers much larger than myself. I want Ashes of Creation to survive, or I want Ashes of Creation to be big. And this comment rubs me the wrong way, because you're trying to advocate for things that quite literally killed the MMORPG genre.
I don't know how you can say that these things killed quite literally the MMORPG genre whenever you said earlier in the video that 90% of players won't like Ashes of Creation. And Ashes of Creation was there to show them what a real MMO is. So I don't see how we can have both of these here. My personal opinion is I think that, again, this is it's not really, it's always our place to give feedback as players. It's never not your place to give feedback. You can always give feedback about a game or whatever, about a stream. You can do that. Now, does that mean everybody has to hear you and, you know, like give you a platform? No, but you can always give feedback. I think that there is a lot of people that are trying to like claim this game as like this is their game and it's going to be different than the games that they previously played because they have like an agenda behind it, right? Like, for example, like I don't want to have the game with a bunch of like cosmetic, like pay to win stuff. Like that's what I care about.
Cosmetic pay to win stuff?
I know, like maybe Narc
That makes no
cares
fucking
about something
sense.
else. Other people care about like having
How can
destructible
cosmetic be pay to
environments or
win?
like siege-based games. The reality is that I don't think the game should be made for any one type of player. The game should be made to be a good game that's rewarding, that causes people to come back and play the game. Because whenever you start trying to design it for a specific type of person and not really designing systems that are fun and good and fulfilling to play, that's whenever you would start alienating everybody else. And I think that's what the issue is. And so, yeah, I think that it's very true that Ashes of Creation will not appeal to everybody, and it will probably not appeal to a lot of people, in the same way that really, when you think about it, every single MMO doesn't appeal to a lot of people. Like, World of Warcraft doesn't appeal to a lot of people. Most people don't play WoW. It's the same thing as Final Fantasy, Lost Ark, New World, or Ashes of Creation. This is all the same. So it's about having a niche, but I think inside of that niche, you have to make the game actually fulfilling and fun to play. And I think that's really what the conversation is about. I think that many people play video games and they invest a lot of time into video games because they get fulfillment out of whatever they're doing in the game. Whether this is crafting an item, leveling up the character, winning in PvP, being a certain rank in CSGO. Fulfillment is, I think, what the core of the reward of video games truly is. And some of that fulfillment can just be a distraction, right? They're able to just think for themselves and just relax in this world and escape from reality. So whenever you attack what could be that fulfillment for other people, that's whenever you have people leave the game. The concern here is that for some people, fulfillment is ganking random people, right? And having this open world game that has some degree of consequences of non-consensual PvP. But there's also a lot of other people who gain fulfillment from being able to play the game and enjoy it kind of at their own pace without having to worry about these things. So how do you manage the two things? It's hard to say. But I do think that it's very obvious that there are clearly more people that don't like it than do. And I think that he even said that.
Want Ashes of Creation to succeed, you should be focused on improving the core design pillars, the social, meaningful, and satisfying progression that MMORPGs offered us back in their peak, back in the golden age. Not the
I will also say that player agency can be removed by other players. Like whenever you're not able to play the game in the way that you want, number 4 goes away.
These modern-day convenience systems and hand-holding gameplay that caters to the lowest denominator. Let us have our PvP. If it fails, it fails. But at least we tried. I don't want another MMORPG reskinned with the exact same thing the other generic 500 copy-pasted MMOs did before. If you don't like the prospects of Ashes of Creation, that's okay. Steven has said many, many times, Ashes of Creation is not going to be for everyone. I'm okay with the game settling on a couple of 100,000 players. I don't need the game to have millions or to dethrone World of Warcraft for that top spot. That's not the point of this project. The point is to prove that a true open-world PvP MMO can thrive in this age of single-player trash.
I don't think that was really ever the point of it. I don't think Steven ever said that was the point of it at all. And I think that him saying it's a PvX game implies that that's not really the point of it. I think there's a lot of people that are using like different things instead. Like they effectively, like they take the thing that they care about inside of the game, and they extrapolate that into being the purpose of the game is to succeed as a game that has X, Y, or Z thing. I think that people are kind of in a way selfish to look at it from the angle of the kind of game that they want, and not really look at it in the scope of the fact that there are other people besides them that want different things. Yeah, they want what they want, and they're trying to kind of direct the game in that direction, which is effectively what everybody is trying to do, but I think it's important to call it what it is.
And still sustain itself without compromising its monetization with pay-to-win elements. If it succeeds at that, I truly believe it will spark a new era for this genre, because it will remind everyone exactly why World of Warcraft had 12 million players back in 2008. But as
I don't think that's really a very good argument in the context of this conversation. World of Warcraft in 2010, whenever it had 10, 12 million people, it had PvE servers. And they were more popular than the PvP servers. And it also had all instanced combat, even in vanilla WoW, minus the dragons.
As usual, I am just one nerd desperate for a good MMO. And my opinions mean nothing without yours in the comments below. And hey, I heard you like watch parties, and considering I've nothing to shill here at the end of this video, why not come and join our humble Discord community and waste your life talking about an MMO that quite literally doesn't even exist. Additionally, we will, as always, be hosting a watch party for this month's upcoming artisan-focused live stream.
I'm excited to see what that's going to be.
Nobody cares about your trash watch party. You didn't even bother to do one for Pantheon this month.
Oh, God.
I'm highly disappointed.
And to that I say, listen kid, Pantheon doesn't even have convincing concept art, let alone PvP, so why you're bringing up Pantheon again during this video is completely random, and quite frankly, nobody fucking asked. It's almost like you're just trying to artificially gaslight your game using my platform because, you know, we're high on copium.
I'm going to say one thing, is that I feel like with Pantheon, it wouldn't be a watch party, it would be a watch funeral, number one. Number two, I think that, like, the dozens of people that are excited about Pantheon, I really hope they get the game they want. Because I'm fucking tired of having them try to change my games to make it more like that fucking garbage. That lazy, grindy, pointless, time-wasting garbage. I want Pantheon to be good, so they'll fucking go play Pantheon. I don't want to hear about it. As Legend Breeze content build? Yeah, no, I think this was a decent video, right?
Damn, I've been finding hella Redos today.
I feel like, again, especially with the New World examples, etc., and the WoW examples, it's just, you're just wrong. You're just wrong. And I think that, again, I'm okay with that, and I'm always willing to, like, listen to other people's perspectives on this kind of stuff. But, you know, the facts are the facts. That's what happens. That's what it was. And Narc Allcraft, bro, I'd be happy to have Narc on Allcraft. I like Narc a lot. I think he's great. I just, in my opinion, I think that we have spent so much time arguing and debating. Oh, and there's another video about this too, by the way. We've spent so much time arguing and debating about this topic for a game that we've not really, like, we're all talking about a theoretical. I mean, like, let's be honest, right? We're all talking about a theoretical. I don't think that Ashes of Creation, and this is just, like, again, my opinion, I don't think that the game should try to label itself as being one specific or another specific thing. I think the game should try to be as good of a game as possible, and then whatever comes out of that, that's what they do. Because the truth is that with New World, for example, New World came out and it did exactly that. New World saw the things that people did like, they made more of those things, and it caused the player base to go up. So New World thought they were being a hardcore MMORPG.
I'm gonna scare this guy.
Turns out it was really just Minecraft for balding old men. And guess what? There's a lot of people that are balding old men. And it worked. it worked. The game is growing again. There's more professions, etc. There's content being added to the game. There's a lot of things that are going on with New World that are positive, and this is reflected in the numbers. And I think, again, this is the point that I'm really trying to make.
I wasn't even an all or nothing.
You can like a game that's not popular, but you can't say that doing something that's not popular that has had a nearly 100% failure rate is good for a game. And that's the difference.
Oh shit!
PvP and New World are okay, except for.
Oh, that's karma for me.
PvP, what the fuck? Instance PvP died because it was broken and laggy. I feel like Outpost Rush was very successful, and people queue Outpost Rush regularly. It was the wars that were the problem because they were so laggy. I remember whenever I did it the first time I ever did a war in New World, it was just a lag fest, didn't work at all. So again, like, these are people that don't really understand what the problem was, that are going around with their partial information talking about why the game was bad. It's just simply not true. That's not what it was.
If this shit doesn't show up, I'm gonna be so upset.
I'm actually gonna be so bothered by this. World Blast. Oh shit! Here we go, boys. Let's go. I don't know if this boat's gonna crash or not, but we're gonna find out. I'm getting on the first fucking boat. I don't care. I'm getting on first fucking boat. Let's do it. Look at everybody. Oh my god, look at everybody. Get on, bro. We getting on first boat. First boat. Let's go. 100 gold to whoever jumps. Yeah, I see if somebody falls off the boat. Who's gonna DC? I'm not. I'm not gonna DC. Wait. Did that guy just go off? Oh no, never mind. Wait, what the hell is he? How did he get over there? Oh no. Bro, get back on the boat, man. We're gonna leave without you. Oh no. Alright, it's time. What could go wrong, guys? He fell? Wait, somebody else fell? No, who did that? Oh no. Kick him out of the guild. I'm a little bit worried because we haven't teleported yet. Oh. Holy shit, we're here! Bro, that was seamless as fuck! There's the penguins! Look at that! Blizzard did something right. They did. This was fucking perfect. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, this was... Aw, what an idiot! That guy fell off! There it is, boys. There it is. Oh my god. Alright, boys, let's do it. Alright, I gotta get, guys, just give me a minute, guys. We gotta, I forgot, it took me off my mount. I didn't see that. Don't worry about that.
What can I do?
It's totally normal. At skill 12 dudes. Okay, let's kill the 12 dudes. So, we were talking a little bit about Utgard Keep. Utgard Keep, the zone. Get flight path? Yeah, let me go get flight path. Yeah, I was thinking maybe potentially there's a chance that we might not get a single fucking credit. Yeah, they already went extinct. So we gonna dungeon grind? I think we have to. Like, I'm gonna get flight path real quick. And then we'll get started. Yeah, 500 dudes versus 12 dudes. I mean, it's not that simple. Or it is that simple. Fuck, I was confused. Confused myself. The cleansing has begun.
Damn, Reddits are dropping like candy today. I'm
think
thinking
with the
about just keep
dungeons-
farming for those.
Yeah, let's try to get ahead of these people. Like, there's no way we can't play. Holy shit! I'll see how quick this goes. Investigate this one. Okay, great. I guess maybe I should pick this up. I don't know. This is where all the smart people are going. EU server's dead. Skips all quest. What we're hoping to do, this is my plan, is that I want to go and... Oh, there's already Horde here. I want to go and be able to do this to like 73 or so, and then I'll have enough experience, or not experience, I'll have enough levels to go and do the next zone and skip past these guys. That's kind of what I thought was the best idea. Straight to dungeon? Yeah, I mean, we can't play. There's too many people here. Okay, I think we're pretty much good. Let me group up some of the mobs. Look at that, dude. See, this is how it's done right here. A literal god at work. See that? McConnell DPS. McConnell's doing fine. Pull these guys. I'll pull one more pack. Should be enough. Got it. You guys can just give me a minute for aggro. Like, by the way, I can pretty much solo all of this. So as long as you guys are just keeping them together, I'll do everything else. Yeah, this is no big deal for me. Totally normal. Just a walk in the park. 3,000 DPS. I feel like this is going pretty well. Is it heroic? Yeah, we're already in heroics. It's really just that fast. Okay, I'll pick these guys up. I don't know if this is a good way of doing it or not. I have no idea. I guess we'll find out very soon. Yeah, I didn't really watch any guides on how to do this. 6.4k gear score. That's not till fucking whatever it is. So they give 2.6k. What do these give? Oh yeah. Okay, so they are better. All right, great. Yeah, we'll pull these for sure. I'll just shield wall right now. As you guys can see, it's like just, it doesn't even really matter. Makes literally no difference. Heal or zoom, doesn't matter, I'll just heal myself. I've got the figurine of the Colossus. None of the other stuff really matters. Oops. Dispel that. Yeah, it's like I've got so many parries right now. Like, I'm just gonna keep this up all the time. And so, like, how do we do this? Do we just, like, clear the whole thing and then we just go back and do it again? I think that's probably the best way to do it. Alright, boys, let's get his ass. I fucked up right there. Don't worry about these dick boys, alright? guys don't even need to kill the ads, by the way. Nice, blinked out of it. Good job. How much health does or experience does he give? Okay, he gives 4K. Alright, that sounds good. And remember, I'm going to try to do big dick pulls, alright? As much as I can. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of fast. I'll have to look and compare it once we finish the run and see how long the run actually took. I bet I could do the heroic version of this right now if I wanted to. That's honestly like that's how confident I am.
All right, almost done with King. Oh, I'm done with King's Quest. Sweet. Let's see what I get. Hopefully it's something good this time. Would be really nice to get this caught on stream as well.
My server keeps crashing.
Here we go. Gonna go turn into the
honestly,
king.
I feel like Blizzard does pretty well with launches. Like I know it's like not popular to like give Blizzard a W on anything,
And
but I actually think they I think they do pretty well.
a fucking DK hammer.
Like,
That's the
Shadowlands went really
fucking
well,
like fourth
fucking Diablo
one,
Immortal
dude.
went really well. Let's see.
It's
like
fucking
all these went
bullshit,
really well.
dude. Oh well, I accumulated a
happens
few
after
good
launch is the problem.
things.
Why is McConnell pulling aggro? Does he have it up? Yeah, how the fuck is that even happening? Oh shit, look at that. 50
Look at all these
Gs,
rings,
that's
man.
insane. That's like better than like SSC gear. Yeah, I guess I'll just pull like one pack at a time. O'Connell's using Righteous Fury. Did I not see it? I was looking for it a second ago. I didn't see it. Okay. Easiest boss of my life, by the way.
The nerve to join my attack.
By all means, don't assess the situation, you have it. Just jump into the fray.
It's a very hard game.
Not over.
Doesn't even have cast.
All right.
Competent slug. Return
Good job.
and make yourself useful.
Split damage? No, we're fine.
That's the one I put in there.
One hand tanking? Well, one hand top DPSing and tanking, but yes. Nice. I'll just keep doing big pulls. I think I need to do a better job, like picking up the mobs as
HPM
we
is so
run
much
now.
better than a fucking
It's actually
Vismaxi
crazy
mace.
how fast we're doing this. Holy shit.
Nibbling pig.
As far as for mages.
Like, I'm actually worried that we're gonna instance cap.
They have
Like,
attack
that's a lot
speed
of
on it?
that ability
Doesn't
needs to be
have
spelled.
attack
It
speed.
does a lot of damage on heroic. You do instance cap? Yeah, I feel like we will.
Die, maggot.
My experience seems shit. What do you guys think? Sorry, soloing this shit already? It's good? Like, 3-man it? It could just be me and McConnell. Like, that could work. And, like, he could off-heal me. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I feel like, because we only got, like, 1 bar. And, like, that's 20 runs. So that's, like, 4 hours for a level. Solo is 5k experience per kill.
How much damage does this get? 6 wall magic, 5 cast. Wait, 6 on magic, 5 cast.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
6
If
amp?
everyone saw it. No, I'd be fine doing it with McConnell.
Since when?
If it's me and him, that'd be good.
Must be
Are
a
your
super.
stats bloated? Everything seems too squishy for heroic. Yeah, this is on normal. Yeah, after this one, yeah, we'll try and just like me and McConnell do it. Because I feel like this is really, really like this is definitely not good experience. What's the experience bar add-on called? It's Dominoes.
My life for the death.
Heroic is max level. Well, I think they just don't know. 8% for one run isn't the worst. That's like 10 runs, 2 runs an hour. And also, like, we'll instance cap.
Is that a super draconic helmet?
That sounds good. Yeah, I think that would be better. And then we can maybe meet up, because I know, like, Loy, you can probably do, like, the other group as, like, a mage. I watched, like, a video from, like, Venruki talking
That ain't
about it.
bad. That ain't a bad helmet at all.
Easy GG, big dick.
Wait,
Good job,
super
guys.
drac helmet has cast speed on it, dude?
Excellent skill.
What?
Check the
That's a really good
experience bar.
melee slash ranger helmet. In my opinion. Is that 40
Okay, it
versus
should be done. Free jam, I think.
very much gear and cons?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it should be good now.
Ooh, Omni Diabolic Shield, they're selling it for 500 plat blank. They're crazy. This thing does look sick as fuck though.
Okay. Go back over here, and then I'll be able to try and do another run. Because also, like, if we're able to clear it this fast, I actually think me and a rep paladin is so good. Like, that's actually so fucking good. Okay, let's drop this group. Thank you, guys. Drop this group. Okay.
Wait a minute. Is that a regular? Hold on.
Alright, let's do it. So I think, yeah, 2v2, it should be fine.
I think that's the regular one, ain't
I
it?
don't know how to do that. Let me see. I'll try, like, once I have a second here for mana. So this is just me and McConnell doing the dungeon. I don't know about pulling all these mobs, but we'll find out. Okay.
I'm thinking about buying that warrior ring.
Maybe we do these in 2 pulls. Yeah, I think we do these in 2 pulls. Actually, I don't know. Maybe
Because
one
that would
pull
put
is
me
fine.
at 10%
It's,
bonus.
like, it's not like we died from that.
Hmm. Nah. Oh, that's it for Zenimus, guys. I will be back here
Alright,
in
so we
like
do
10
this
minutes
pull
to start
here.
my Everquest 2 stream.
It's just like I get fucking stunned. That's the problem. I have all these misses. My hit rating's pretty fucking low.
The
I can also
fuck
use the,
is going on with this
figurine
fucking
ability
mouse?
assist too, which helps out a lot. I think that's what I'll do next time.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, let's do 1 pack at a time for these. These mobs just do too much damage. It's not even Asunder armor that's bad.
The fuck is going on, dude?
Yeah, just one at a time. I think this will be 1,000 times easier. And I wonder, I think that we should clear the whole thing. I'm pretty sure we should. Try 3-manning? You think 3-manning would be better? Like, what would a 3-man really add? Speed? I'm unsure. I don't think you're wrong, I'm just unsure.